God is on your side. Turn to your neighbor and say, neighbor, you better know who to trust. Amen. I won't be before you long. The passage is talking about a man named David. David was a choir director. David was a man that had been through some things, like a lot of us going through some things, but a lot of time we turn our hope on people. People we know that sometimes will often let us down. When we're going through our life situations, our life storms, when the storms are raging around us, we oftentimes turn our focus to the wrong people. And from my experience of living, you're going to have to stop trusting people and start trusting God. But anytime you're going through a storm, it's just to get you across to the other side to something better. You have to realize that when you're going through a storm, don't you worry, you just flow right through it and keep praising while you're going, because God is still in control over everything. And not only God, when you're in the kingdom of God, things increase because of your faith, and your faith increases because of you're somehow in your life believing in God. This man David had to believe in God because David had been in some positions along the way. And I'm going to come on with this because I'm finna get you out of here. And David was going through some things. David just wasn't going through something. They was lying on David. They was talking about David. Every time David said something, they'll twist his words up and say he said one thing when he didn't say it. How many of you go through that right now? You tell somebody something, and before it get back to you, it's been twisted around 100 times. Look here, you're not the only one, brother. David had to go through this. But the mere fact is that David didn't have to go through this just by his enemies. David had to go through this from his so-called friends. Not only his so-called friends David went through this with, he had to go through it from his family. A lot of us have the audacity to say family blood is thicker than water. No, not all the time. Sometimes the water is thicker than the blood. So you got to know who to trust and understand in the midst of while you're going through your situation that God is on your side. So no matter if the light bill due, you have to do like Lil Wayne. I ain't worried. I ain't never worried. Like Lil Wayne said, I'm not worried about this. You got to see the refuge. Everybody's out. I'm saved. I can't listen to the rap song. Sometimes a rap song carries a message. I ain't never worried. And I can say that I'm not never worried because I know who's on my side, and God is on my side. David was going to fight the bully Goliath, giant. Way bigger than him. David was just a little boy at the time. And he went to Saul, and Saul said, man, you crazy, that giant will kill you. Saul gave David all kind of shields and weapons to fight this giant, but David refused it. He said, I'm not comfortable with this. He said, what you mean you can't go to that giant like that? David, look at this, 1994. I was in the U.S. military. Got stabbed 1 inch from my heart. I used to be saved. I was a preacher when I was a teenager. But I tried to walk away from God. In the midst of walking away, I was doing whatever I wanted to do in the midst of it. But in 1994, I left God behind when I got a career. I got the career. I was doing whatever I wanted to do, having fun. I seen the city lights and the beautiful women, and I was on it. Yes, I was a drunk and I was a whoremonger, but God delivered me. He delivered me before, way back when I was a teenager, and he delivered me now.